We're on. We're on.
This meeting is being held in conformance with the Sunshine Law. Notice of date, time, and place has been furnished to the Bergen Record and the Ridgewood News. Notice has also been posted on the bulletin board of our administration building. Would the clerk kindly take the roll?
Mayor Giordano.
Here.
Mr. Brennick.
Here.
Ms. Sarah Cola-Drake. Here. Mr. Marnello.
Here.
Mr. Raimondo.
Here.
Mr. Ritchie.
Here.
Mrs. Weber. Here.
Everyone kindly rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Let us have a moment of silence for all our Waldeck veterans, all veterans across our country who have gone off to war, some never returning, so that we can live in a land that is free. And for all the killings that occurred this week, may all the families know that they are being comforted by all those who care and love them deeply. Would the clerk kindly say the prayer?
We thank you for everyone gathered here now. Thank you that you know each of us by name and have caused us to walk with you. We say that we are dependent on you and our trust is in you completely. As we surrender ourselves in adoration, we ask that you would come by your Holy Spirit and inspire our hearts today. Come fill our lives with your love, fill our conversations with your grace and truth, fill this meeting with your presence. We ask this for your glory and praise. Amen.
Amen. Good evening, everyone. Tonight I have the honor as mayor to promote Christopher Crone to sergeant, Kyle Moore to lieutenant, and swear in the chief of the Waldeck Police Department, Troy Seaford. All three men, along with our entire police department, work tirelessly day in and day out, protecting our residents and keeping our community safe. I have had the privilege of serving as both councilman and now mayor, and has witnessed each of you being sworn in or also being promoted up the ranks. I would like to thank at this time our former police chief, the Honorable Richard Brady, who will be swearing in our honorees tonight, our Judge Helene Herbert, who is here with us, our ex-police chief who is here with us, Mark Messner, all the members of the police department who are here, the council who is here, and also everyone here today. I thank you very much for being here to show your support and friendship to the events that are going to be happening today. Sergeant Christopher Crone was born and raised in Waldeck. After graduating from Waldeck High School, he attended DeSales University, where he earned a degree in criminal justice. He became a member of the Waldeck Police Department in July of 2014. In his 11-year career, Sergeant Crone has served as the department's resiliency officer and bias officer. He has been a DARE and lead instructor since 2018, teaching 5th grade students at Trapphagen as well as Crescent School. Chris is assigned as a field training officer, where he is responsible for training and mentoring newly hired police officers. He has always served on the PBA Executive Board since 2016, holding the positions of recording secretary and vice president, and is currently serving his second term as president. Chris resides in Waldeck with his wife, Elisa, and their daughter, Avery. Lieutenant Kyle Moore was born and raised in Waldeck. After graduating from Waldeck High School, he attended Stockton University, majoring in criminal justice. Lieutenant Moore became a member of the Waldeck Police Department in September of 2011. He was promoted to the rank of sergeant in 2018, serving as a patrol supervisor and later as being in the Detective Bureau as a supervisor. Lieutenant Moore is a certified instructor in pistol rifle, active shooting response, taser, and red dot optics, and has served as the department's supervising firearms instructor since 2014. In this role, he is responsible for all firearms and tactical training. He is also a certified police academy instructor, assisting with firearms and tactical instructions. Lieutenant Moore has been an operator on the Bergen County Regional SWAT team since 2015, where he currently serves as first team leader. He has served on the PBA Executive Board as well as Recording Secretary and Vice President. Kyle resides in Roldick with his wife, Melaine, and their 2 children, Kelsey and Jack. As I often say at promotion ceremonies for the police department, people sleep perfectly and peacefully in their beds at night only because people like yourselves stand ready to protect them. Police officers put their lives on the line every day. This is not simply something you do, it is something you are. Thank you both for protecting all of us. Your dedication and love for this profession are very evident. I know you will make a great Lieutenant, Kyle, and you will make a great Sergeant, Chris. You will both lead with integrity and make a lasting difference within our police department. At this time, I ask Sergeant Christopher Crone to please come up with his family to be sworn in.
I, Christopher Crone,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of police sergeant
perform all the duties of police sergeant
for the Borough of
for
Walworth,
the Borough of Walworth,
Bergen County,
Bergen County,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and I will support the Constitution of the United States
and I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Stay up here, and you can go to your seat. At this time, we're going to ask Kyle Moore to come up and be sworn in with his family.
I,
Kyle Moore,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of police lieutenant
perform all the duties of police lieutenant
for the Borough of Walworth,
for the Borough of Walworth,
Bergen County,
Bergen County,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
You want to just stand up to it? You wanna- The last time we were all together, we were saying goodbye to our chief, Mark Messner, and I was standing in the corner with Troy, And Troy says to me, listen, when I become chief, you better say something better than what you're saying about Mark. I'll try. Tonight, the Borough of Waldwick will swear in its 8th police officer since its founding, Chief Troy Seifert. Troy Seifert was born and raised in Waldwick. After graduating from Waldwick High School, he attended John Jay College and William Patterson University. He began his law enforcement career in 1999 as a police dispatcher, and then also in 2000 became a police officer in the borough of Ho-Hopus. We're not going to hold that against you. He then followed the light in the woods, crossed over the border, and in 2005 became a member of the Waldwick Police Department. He was promoted to sergeant in 2012 and served as a patrol sergeant until his assignment to the Detective Bureau in 2014. In 2019, Troy was promoted to lieutenant, where he has served as patrol commander and most recently as the officer in charge of the administration section of the department. Troy has served as department's juvenile officer, dare instructor, and field training officer. He also served on the PBA Executive Board as recording secretary and treasurer. He also serves as president of the Waldwick Baseball Association and as a trustee on the Waldwick Board of Education. Our new chief resides in Waldwick with his wife Erin and their 3 daughters, Emma, Maggie, and Katie. Troy, before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. A leader's role is to build people, develop others, strengthen the organization from within, empower all those around you, and encourage others to become leaders themselves. Chief, you have demonstrated time and time again your love, service, and selfless dedication to the well-being of our community, our residents, and your fellow officers. You are truly a leader. As Steve Jobs said, your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work, and the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Troy, I am proud and honored to call you right now my police chief and my friend. Please come up and be sworn in.
Very good, sir. I, Troy Seifert,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
perform
all the duties
all the duties
of Chief of Police
of Chief of Police
for the Borough of Waldwick,
in the Borough of Waldwick,
Oregon County,
Oregon County,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
and in the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
so help me God.
So help me God.
We're going to take a 5-minute break so everyone can congratulate those who just got sworn in.
My recording's on.
No, this is my. You have it already.
You're on.
Chief?
You told me to wait. -5. If I could just say something real quick to the mayor and council, I want to thank you very much for a great night. I want to thank you for your unwavering support of the Walden Police Department. 3 promotions tonight is amazing. I just want you to know that it is my honor to serve in this office of Chief of Police and serve for the town that I grew up in. One thing that I think is a nice thing that I picked up on all 3 of the bios tonight is that all 3 of us were born and raised here. We are from Waldwick. We are Waldwick. We continue to serve Waldwick. I just want to thank you again for a great night.
Thank you.
And thank you. Have a good meeting. Thank you again. See you soon.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, reports of committees. Under my report, I have nothing to... Doesn't have it in hand, do it? Okay. We're going to just go away from the script, and we're going to just do something else first.
We have it under new business,
Yeah, we have a new business, huh?
but that's okay.
You can
If your
Yeah.
council wants to hear it now, that's up to them. Sure. It was a draft. We got a draft. I'm not sure why.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. For the record, Bruce Whitaker here on behalf of Ron Durante and the Durante family. Thank you for taking us out of turn. As you know, the Durante family, owners of Rocket Building Supply, have been in this town for a long time, generational. They have been builders in this town, and they have operated Rocket Building Supply for many years. There have been 2 generations of builders in this town, starting out in the 50s and the 60s. Rocket Building Supply, still in operation, limited operation. We've had inquiries about other companies coming in and taking it over to use it as an area for supplies to be delivered from that site. And the Durante family has resisted doing that and is looking forward to having this area done in an area of need of redevelopment, and are looking towards doing a housing project there. By resolution by this council on May the 9th of 2023, you determined this area as well as other areas in the vicinity to be an area in need of redevelopment, a non-condemnation type of area. The report that you had and your resolution provides in part that the negative conditions that exist in this area are decadent effect on the surrounding properties. I think we can all agree, you already made the determination, that something better than what's there right now can be done at this location. So the property that we're talking about is a series of lots, 135, 7, 9, and 11. You have the plans that we delivered, and it's just a conceptual plan that we provided. They were prepared by Bergona & Bergona Architects, well-known company that does this type of development work and architectural work. The parcel has 1.525 acres, 66,419 square feet. As you know, it borders 3 streets, Houston, Frederick, and Harrison. The applicant is proposing as part of the development here, 54 units in 2 buildings. 39 would be in one building, 15 would be in the other building. You would have 8 affordable units, meeting part of your requirements under the 4th round. The building would be correlated with what has already been approved across the street on Harrison. It have an ordinance now that says that the maximum height would be 50 feet. This developer here is proposing a height of approximately 45 feet, 4 stories. 25% of the areas being proposed that are on the plans will be open space, which is much more than the ordinance really permits that you have for across the street. Under the residential site improvement standards, there's a requirement for 96 parking spaces, and you can see from these plans, the proposal is for 98 parking spaces, so it exceeds the requirements. So our request is for you to review this plan and authorize your planner to move forward with developing an ordinance that would emulate the plan that we have here as far as the bulk requirements are concerned. And then we look forward to taking that plan and engineering it, obviously, and then come back and come before the planning board to proceed with what your ordinance would permit. So that's an overview of the application. I have with me tonight Ray Vergona, who developed the plans, and I would have him come up to present it. Unless there's any questions of me, we can move on with him. Perhaps if you show it that way, we have additional copies.
This angle, okay.
I'll step away and you can.
Okay, my name is Raymond Vergona. I'm an architect and planner. I've been an architect for over 50 years. I've designed many multifamily projects, over 5,000 units, so we're very familiar with this type of project and this type of development. What you have before you on the easel, which we call SK1, is the overall site plan of the development, where we give the standards and we show the building outlines, the setbacks, the parking, and so on. You'll see from this drawing that we have proposed 2 buildings. Building 1 is the larger of the 2 buildings. It's the one nearest to the railroad. It contains 39 units, 8 of which are affordable. And we have plans of those which I can show you in the rest of the set. The second building is on Harrison Street. It contains 15 units, and it's more of a townhouse-style building. It's a low-rise, where the building at the rear has a garage below it and 3 stories of living units. The building on Harrison has units, which we call townhouses, which are actually attached to apartments behind them, which have their driveways and garages in the rear of the building. As most of you know, the property slopes from Harrison down approximately a full story. So we're able to provide parking under the building and maintain green space at the street in the front. So our object here was to conceal as much of the parking as possible, either within the building or under the building, and to provide as much green space as possible around the perimeter of the site. And at the same time, we have a rather large green space in the center. I'll go through some of the statistics. As Bruce said, we're proposing 54 units. The site is 1.525 acres. So we're providing a density of 35.4 units per acre. We're asking for a building coverage of 39.3%. And we're providing setbacks of 13 feet and 20 feet along the streets. We're providing adequate yards along the sides. The maximum height of buildings would be 45 feet for the building on Houston, and the other building is considerably lower, and I'll show you those elevations. So we have a maximum improved coverage of 25%, which means we provided 25% of the site as green area. We meet the parking and exceed, actually, the RSIS parking requirement. We have a drawing that shows that. And we're also providing the 8 affordable units, which would be required. If we compare ourselves to the project which was approved across the street on Harrison, that site is 1.296 acres. The density there is 32.4 units an acre. But the height is 48.47 feet and 4 stories, so we're a little bit below that. But that's in our building, which is farthest away from the homes on Harrison. We also have less impervious coverage than what was approved across the street. Across the street was almost 80%, and we're at 75%. So that gives you a general idea of how the building stacks up against the previously approved project. As I said, SK1 shows the overall site layout. We have a drawing SK2, the next drawing. SK2 demonstrates how the parking works on the site. And you'll see the building on Harrison has individual garages and driveways in addition to on-grade parking. We have a 10-car parking lot off Harrison, and the rest of the parking is provided under the building, behind the building. On the left side of that drawing, you'll see the 4-story building, which has a garage for the most part under the entire lower level, with the exception of a lobby space, a trash room, and service areas, meter and mechanical space, etc. This demonstrates that we exceed the RSIS, the residential site improvement standards, for parking on the site. There's an easement that runs through the site, which is dashed in on this drawing, which accounts for some of the way the buildings are shaped and split apart. If we go to the next drawing, which is A1, this series of drawings shows the actual buildings. This building is the larger of the buildings, obviously, and you'll see the 2 main elevations, the 2 street elevations are shown on this drawing. On the lower part of the drawing is the Frederick Street elevation, which we've designed to look like a series of townhouses, even though it's a multi-story building with and an elevator and with floors that extend through the building. So the units facing the street would have entrances on the street to mimic the townhouse look, but also have secondary entrances off a corridor on the interior, which you can see on the floor plans, which I'll show you later. The upper elevation is the Henson Street elevation. It shows the building at its tallest. It's 4 stories on this elevation. Our lobby entrance is on the left corner. We have a decorative element at the corner. And then we're following the same architectural treatment on this side as we have on the Frederick Street side. Drawing A2 shows the other 2 sides of that building. The upper elevation is the east elevation, which is the elevation that faces the back of the building that's on Harrison Street. And at this side of the building, you see it's 3 stories because of the difference in grade elevation from upward on the site. The lower elevation is the other side, which would be the south elevation, the right side as you face the entrance. And we're using the same architectural treatment throughout all the elevations, all the building elevations. Drawing A3 shows the lower level of the building on Houston and Frederick Street. You enter the garage on the upper portion of this drawing. Most of the parking for this building is contained within the garage. We have 49 cars at this level. And in addition to the parking, we have a fairly large lobby, a trash room, and mechanical space, excuse me, along with an entrance vestibule and package room. The first residential floor, which is 1 floor above the lobby, the layout is shown with the various units dimensioned, room sizes and square footages and so on. On this level, we have a terrace which covers part of the garage parking, and off that terrace is a community room and an exercise room so that you can go from the building through the exercise and community room area to the terrace. We also have a small business center at this level. The next 2 drawings, A5 and A6, are the floor plans for the 2 upper floors of the building. They are essentially the same with some minor changes in the units, but we have an elevator, corridor, and stairs in the same location on these 2 floors. Drawing A7 shows the elevations of the building on Harrison Street. The lower elevation is the Harrison Avenue elevation, where you see we have a series of units that have entrances directly from the street, are basically townhouses, and I'll show you the plans, and they relate to the townhouses that were approved across the street. I think we did one better in that we've got an entirely green street frontage. We're not parking cars there. We're not driving out on that street. it's just an entry access area for the building. And the middle left elevation on this drawing shows the other corner or street elevation on Frederick Street. Same architectural treatment of the building. And again, that's a townhouse unit which is in front of other units. The elevation on the right is the left side. So you see this from the street diagonally, and it's a 2-story or 2.5-story look. And the upper elevation is the elevation facing west, which would be the elevation facing into our property. And you'll see at the lowest level a series of garage doors with 2 levels of apartments above and a partial uppermost level. And I'll show you the plans for those in the next 2 drawings. Drawing A8 is the lowest level of the Harrison Avenue building. And what you have is at the back of the building, which is on the upper part of this plan, a series of garages and driveway spaces outside. The garages are under the building, the spaces are outside. And then in the front portion are basement areas, which are the basements for the townhouses, which are directly above them. So typically, a resident could be in a townhouse, go down the stairs, go into the hallway, and then access directly a garage, his own garage at the back. The last drawing is A9, and the lower plan is the ground level at Harrison Street. And as I was describing, what we show as A and B and C units are actually individual units, individual townhouse units. They're not technically townhouses because they attach to other units, but they are duplexes that appear to be townhouses. There's a plan of one of the typical A units in the middle, kitchen, dining, living, powder room on the first floor, and then 2 bedrooms and a bath and closets on the second floor. This building has a corridor behind the townhouses, which allows us to access the units barrier-free. So the steps, which are shown at the front, are a secondary, can be a secondary entrance. Someone with handicaps can enter this building without having to go up or down steps. The upper plan shows the other upper level of the building where the bedrooms occur, and where we have at the rear portion of that building 3 apartment units. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 7 townhouse, what I call townhouse units, and then 3 boxes at the back, which are stacked apartment units. So essentially, that's what we're proposing for the development. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I just have a quick question. Coming off Frederick Street, I see the entranceway there, it looks like into the, around the middle of the block, to go in between Building 1 and Building 2
On Frederick Street?
on Frederick Street? Is that an entrance into the parking lot?
No, I'm not following where that.
I'll show you.
Oh, sure.
So the Frederick Street, the parking lot?
Yeah.
So you have parking on either side of that?
Yes, we do.
Any concern about fire accessing here for the building, with the cars that are there, accessibility?
I mean, we had what I think is very good accessibility.
just thinking about that turn, how tight is it to get off
Well,
Frederick?
a truck could come directly in at the rear. We have actually 3 streets, or 2 streets, I should say, a parking area and a second parking area. So the building essentially can be accessed all around. Obviously, the other building, Houston has the same parking lot and the 2 streets. So we have good access as far as fighting fires go. The buildings are going to be fully sprinklered also. The buildings are going to be fully adaptable for handicapped users as well. I think this is a standard, we followed the RSIS standards for all the driveways and parking space sizes. And so I think we should have no issue as far as fighting fires and as far as access.
Another question for me, unless anybody else, utilities for this area, you see upgrades in terms of water mains or supply lines that are needed to, provide for the 56 units that are going to be there?
I don't believe so, but we haven't engineered the plan yet. That would be our next step.
Okay.
So thank you for the presentation. In general, I agree. I don't really love the property as it exists. I kind of think of this area as part of our downtown. I think that there's a lot of potential for Waldwood. That being said, I kind of don't love this. It's just a lot of apartments in an area where I think there's a lot of potential for, as you come down Prospect and you make that right at the train station, a lot of potential for what we could, see in a vibrant downtown. Was there any attempt to look at first floor commercial retail, or it just feels like an attempt to jam a whole bunch of apartments into an otherwise very valuable space?
I mean, it's not super dense. I don't think commercial would be viable here, but
Well, we had it across the street.
I-
They put the Soma Cafe, and that's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
successful. It's a landmark for the town now, too. People love it.
I mean, we thought that this would be more compatible with the residential on Harrison.
I think it would, I don't know what my colleagues think, but I think that it might be nice to try to have a discussion on what, some retail on Houston would look like. Then we're giving something back to the town more than just, throwing, how many apartments? Or how many?
There are 39 in that building,
39 and plus?
and
39
15
plus.
on the,
Okay, so
54 in total.
4 units, without really giving a whole lot back to the town. I personally would like to see something else in there. Listen, I appreciate what you've done on Harrison to try to match the townhomes. Like, I
Right,
think
right.
that was fantastic. When we saw the Harrison Ave property project, we actually saw a few iterations of it, and I think one of our requests as a council was put some retail in there, right? Let's add back to the downtown. And when they came back, they put 4,000 square feet of retail in there. That's when I personally became a big advocate for it. It would require, for me, I think something like that would go a long way.
I mean, that project, of course, has some retail. It's on Prospect, which is, of course, one of the main retail spots. I felt going farther into Harrison would make a difficult sell for those. I don't think they'd be, as I said, viable, because I think they'd be mixed among a residential, in the middle of a residential location. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think that we haven't had a chance to discuss it as a council, but perhaps there's a vision for what we can do long-term for this entire area. And I have my own view, and I think everyone else has their own view, with 59 apartments without any kind of giving back to the town on making that downtown vibrant is not, at least how I'm kind of seeing things long-term. And once they go in, right, they're not coming out. So
Well, I mean, those
we have to
50,
do this right.
right, those 54 units are going to help the downtown area. They're going to provide residents, which are going to support that. So, and we are providing affordable housing in the project. And I think it's an asset in general. It's much more green, I think, than any of the other projects that I know in the
So
area.
it's certainly an upgrade on what we have.
Yeah,
But like I said, we only have one chance to do this. I mean, what do you all think?
Well, I think it's just, you're just presenting to us currently.
that's right, that's right.
Yeah, I would certainly like to take some time to think about this and perhaps to formulate some questions and perhaps come back to it. But honestly, I think Mr. Rich's point's valid. I would like to have time to take a look at it and say yes or no yet. But just think about it and come back and discuss it some more.
In building number 1,
Yes,
you have right here 4 stores. So you're going to put 4 stores in building number 1. What is the size of the stores? And where are the parking going to be? Going to be in the front of the building? Where is it going to be?
Stories.
Yeah, there's no stores.
no, we don't have any,
Residential.
I'm sorry.
no.
I'm sorry.
It's all residential.
Also, you said another question about you don't think there'll be a problem with the fire department. If
Yes.
there is a problem, you'll be able to adjust it?
Of course.
To accommodate what the
Yes,
fire department
yes.
requests?
This is a conceptual plan.
Right.
Yeah.
When we came in with the conceptual plan for the other project,
Right.
that was conceptual, and then by the time we got to the planning board, and we had the input from the fire department, the fire chief, then at that point, we made the revisions that were necessary to make it appropriate. We also had comment from them that if there was a fire, in all likelihood, it was going to be addressed from the outside of the street and not from the interior. But that's an engineering aspect that we have to do.
I think the project's a good one, but it's too many units. I think it's too many units. You're just crowding too much stuff into it.
I mean, we're really not very different from the project across the street.
So we have to live with it.
I think the way it's done, you know, the fact that we do have the 2 buildings with the greater number of units in building 1, which is away from the main residential and abutting the railroad with the railroad parking across the street, I think lessens the impact, let me put it that way.
But I think the point is it's not adding to what we want, which is, I think, to make it a little bit more vibrant down there. And yes, it's probably not very different from Harrison Ave, the project we approved, with the one key difference, which is they had 4,000 square feet of retail. And going back 3 years or 4 years when we saw that, I was saying the same thing to that project. And they accommodated, right? And they came back, and then I was, as you all know, the strongest advocate for that project, and to my own demise, right?
So my suggestion would be, we'll take it under consideration. We looked at that before we started plans. Some consultants that we discussed it with, real estate people, thought that the retail wouldn't make it at this area because it's somewhat isolated and it's not connected. And the isolation is what dissuaded us from doing it. I would suggest that one of the things that would be appropriate to do is have your planner, Mr. Greigel, look at this to see what he thinks from a planning aspect. We recognize its proximity to the train station. We recognize that there's an element of the population that becomes used to this type of project, and the size of the project and the size of the rooms that are proposed, there's a need for it. The affordable housing, of course, we stipulate meets all the requirements because the state has standards for those size units. There'll be 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 1-bedroom units as required under the appropriate regulations. But we certainly, that's the purpose of the meeting, the purpose is to take under consideration your suggestion, and we welcome the opportunity to have you direct this to Mr. Greigel for his review.
Another question for me. Is there any impact to the homes and other businesses that are on Prospect Street that butt up against the back of that property during construction or any of that?
No, we would have to bond for that. We would have to go into a developer's agreement for that. And your developer's agreement, there's language in there that we cannot adversely affect neighboring properties, including drainage, et cetera.
There was something, I think, when we looked at this plan on the corner lot where Master Cha's Taekwondo is, something about the easement and the parking
So
facility.
we've
there.
addressed that.
Okay.
What we've done here is that we've left this open. He parks on our client's property now, but we've just left this open for open parking.
Okay.
And that could be parking, if you want, be dedicated for public use.
Yeah, I think parking was an issue when we were going through the other development plans, so maybe we could increase some parking spots and make it available to the public, just an
Yeah.
idea.
That's what the-
We're beyond the RSIS standards that's
Yeah.
required.
Mhm.
So we have that, and as you can see, that parking is somewhat, I use the word isolated again, isolated, but it could be for the general public, if that's
Yeah.
something. And that's something a planner would look at.
Yeah,
Make
to me, that's-
recommendations to create an ordinance.
Yeah, that would be a benefit to the town.
I think what we're all trying to say is that there's too many units and not enough retail.
Well, I'm going to hold back on the retail to see if it's viable from consultants, as well as your plan and our own plan.
We're going to reach out to our planner and let him discuss it. We have the plan to send everything. Is that right?
Yeah.
And if anybody has any questions from the council, please forward them to Tatiana. She could get them to our planner with your ideas and everything. Does anybody from the, would you like to say anything? No? Okay.
No, I mean, it's just the regular process from there. I mean, we can take the concept plan and then either the council decides to prepare a redevelopment plan based on this, or you send it to the planning board and have them prepare the redevelopment.
Okay.
plan.
Okay. Thank you.
But it's a good starting point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to have somebody that's online. He wants to ask a question. Go ahead.
Okay, you can go ahead.
I'd like to know if plans will be available at Borough Hall for the residents to review before it goes before the council.
Well, the plans are already here that
We
you
have them.
have, and obviously, after the input that we get from your planner and revised plans, everything is a public document. So the answer, short answer is yes.
That's it.
Anyone from the audience here would like to have a comment? Yes, that's in. You could just come up, just give us your name. Please.
Jim Schultz. Just, I know this is preliminary. Will Harrison Avenue, is it going to have a curb?
Yes,
You will have a curb.
curb and sidewalk.
Urban sidewalk.
How many bedrooms, do you have an idea how many two-bedroom, one?
Yes, the plan showed it. The townhouse units are all two bedrooms. The apartments are, there are two ones and a three bedroom on that building. This building has an entirely different setting.
And then do you have any financing yet?
How we would finance
Do you
it?
have the building's going to pay for it?
No, that's not even in our consideration yet.
Okay. And one other comment, Mike, I'm glad you're concerned. I just wish you would have been this concerned with the apartments when they did the other one on Harrison Avenue.
I was.
Now, I'm just,
For years.
you can tell me you were, but I think this is good because it's direct competition now. You're gonna have all of these apartments to rent. You got Harrison Avenue. You're probably gonna get a pilot program. It's gonna drive the price down of the apartments, so.
I wouldn't even consider it.
Okay, I didn't say for this, all I'm saying is you should have been as concerned with the density as the other one.
Last one for years,
Okay.
Jim, years.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Jim, I was.
Did you have a question, sir? Come on up. Please state your name for our records.
State my name and everything.
Just your name.
Gino Moraga, 85
No,
Harris.
no.
Okay. A question for the gentleman?
Whoever you want to
I got
ask.
so many of them. This guy, I dealt with him before, excuse me to say, he's an artist to make look everything perfect. At the end, it's not perfect. He did it to me in the body. Oh, it's going to be perfect. That looks like Christmas City because it lights all over, and it's going to happen the same thing with this thing. He's a good BS artist. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. He presents everything. But how many? Did you do a study? How many cars going to go through there? How many parts?
Gino,
Yeah.
you got to ask questions about the
Okay.
project.
Yeah, he's got a question about
So I
the
just
study.
feel, I'm sorry.
I know. I
lost
got
it.
you, I got you.
I dealt with him before.
We have 98 cars.
Okay, how many apartments?
54.
Where do you put them? Where are you gonna put them?
Well, we've shown the plan.
I don't, I'm not good with architect. Where are you gonna put this 54?
We have 15 in this building.
Right. How many units? How many up and down? How many high?
How many
There are
floors?
15 apart,
Right.
of different sizes,
Right.
right? This building has 39 units.
Right.
This is 3 stories, and this is basically 2.
How many cars are gonna have in these apartments? How many garage?
We have 98 altogether. Some are garage and some are on-site spaces. You can see, these are the on-grade parking spaces here and over here. The other spaces are all within the building, in the garage here and then garage
Are you gonna take a study of the traffic problem that's gonna be here? Because the railroad down here, the street coming across, there's a tons of problems. I don't wanna get killed in Harrison Avenue. I don't wanna get killed in the city, but not in Harrison Avenue. Okay, there's a bad problem with cars all over the place. You go there in the morning, if you don't check, they run you right over because they gotta catch the train. Imagine with this problem here, too many. I think 20 would have been fine, or maybe less. Too many apartments. That's my opinion. I don't know what you can get. It looks fancy, sure. Everything, you know what I had at my old boss? Everything looks good on paper. But when you put in practice, it stinks. I'm sorry. I tell you it is.
I think
it looks beautiful for you. For them, he's very good at he presents everything and push it. And he tells, oh, nothing is going to happen. Come to my house with bread. We have Christmas food. When he represented bread, he said, oh, that'd be perfect. Now I go cut my house, use a Christmas food. Everything, lights, everything, all night long. That's it. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Because we're going to get a lot of comments that we don't need it.
John Vervoort, are these rentals or for sale?
they're they're proposed to be rentals.
Rentals. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we're going to continue with our meeting. Thank you very much. We'll have our planners reach out to you.
Should we just kind of target a meeting to come back to with the planner into next year?
Probably the second meeting in January.
Okay? And I'll be in touch with
One meeting. One meeting, all right, February.
There's only one meeting in February.
Yeah, we're not going to do it at the reorg meeting because that's
No.
a ceremonial.
No,
meeting.
no, no.
I would say February.
February, because we have to start working on our budget.
Yeah, so it'll be the February meeting?
One of the
And
February.
in the meantime, we'll have the ability to deal with Mr. Greigel on
Yep,
this.
our
And-
administrator will reach out to him. The council here will speak to each other, or they'll discuss everything with our administrator, and then she'll do
And I've made the offer already, if there's an escrow that's required for professional fees, obviously, we'll set that up and we can do that. Okay? We'll be in communication that way. Thank you for your time this evening, everyone. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Happy and healthy.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
It's going to be online. Okay, my report, I have nothing to report, just to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Our reorg meeting is the first Tuesday in January, where it will be a ceremonial meeting where we will be swearing in people, honoring people, and establishing the new 2026 year for us. Financial and Administrative Committee, Mr. Ritchie.
I have nothing, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Fire and Police Protection Committee, Mr. Brennick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. To date, per year, we had 253 calls. For the month of December, we had 2 motor vehicle accidents, 5 activated fire alarms. We had 2 utility emergencies. The fire department assisted the Lions Club for their Santa event. And on the 13th of the month, the fire department conducted its Operation Santa, which was very successful with 90 stops. That's about all I have.
Okay, thank you. Public Safety Committee, Ms. Ericola Drake.
No updates from Wallback. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Recreation and Health Committee, Mr. Marnello.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of brief comments. Sorry I missed the tree lighting for the first time in many years due to circumstances beyond my control. Even though it was cold, I hear it was well attended and a lot of fun had by everyone. Santa did a great job there. I also want to thank the fire department for coming around town with Santa. I know all the kids look forward, and even my older kid got a present from Santa that day, so it was fun. Just want to remind everyone that the Toys for Tots at the American Legion post is scheduled for Monday through Friday, 5 to 8 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday, 4 to 8 p.m. There's always children in need around this time, and anyone who can donate toys, I know they will appreciate it. That's it. Thank you, everyone, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Public Works Committee, Mr. Raimondo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just 2 items. I want to thank the Department of Public Works for the first snowstorm. Sunday was supposed to be an inch, and it turned out to be a little bit more than that. I know they were out from 11 p.m. on Saturday till pretty much most of the day on Sunday. I want to thank them for that. But I also want to thank the Department of Public Works for setting up the menorah lighting for the first day of Hanukkah. It was well received by the residents, and they went off without a glitch, even though it was 18 degrees. It was quick, but thank you for that. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Building and Grounds Committee, Mrs. Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have anything to report on buildings and grounds, but I just wanted to thank all the residents and, of course, the borough employees that took care of the tree lighting that we had on the 5th, on December 5th. It was really fun. It was very cold, and I appreciate all the residents that did come out and attend. It was very successful. Also like to thank the Lions Club for holding the children's Christmas party, and the fire department, of course, for driving Santa through town, so we could all appreciate that. And I'm glad to hear that the fundraiser was as successful as it was, 90 stops. That's a lot. Thank you for that. And I know the kids of the town have really appreciated it. And I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Thanks.
Thank you. Borough Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to extend my congratulations to Chief Seifert, Lieutenant Moore, and Sergeant Crone. Very happy to see these promotions in the police department. They do a fantastic job for the borough, and honored to work with all of them every day. Also wanted to mention, to just mark your calendars, that our Flushing schedule is out. It will be posted on, it is, I believe, already posted on the website, but it has gone out on our social media and Constant Contact pages as well. If you are in the area off of Wyckoff Ave, bordering up towards Wyckoff, that is considered Section 1, and that flushing schedule will begin tomorrow. So from the Wyckoff border going east to Crescent Ave, and then from Allendale and the Wyckoff border south to Midland Park border. This will continue after the holidays and through the end of January. A total of 5 sections, which will include, will encompass the entire town. This flushing schedule is the recommendation of H2M, and a particular schedule on how the flushing should be conducted this time around. So we just ask that you take a look at that schedule so you know when to prepare for the flushing in your area. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Borough Clerk Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to thank those residents who donated for the Allendale Waldwick PBA 217 Toys for Tots drive. That was very successful. Also, I wanted to thank all the residents who continue to donate food, toys, and clothes to benefit Families for Families. That's the orange barrel down in our lobby. They are picking it up regularly still, and so we really appreciate those donations. The 2026 calendar, just want to remind everybody, your 2025 calendar contains January of 2026. So the calendar will be mailed to all our residences once it comes out, or once the printer's done with it. Holiday events, I just wanted to thank the Mayor and Council for their support for the annual Christmas tree lighting at Borough Park, also to Tatiana, Melissa, DPW, Police Department for their assistance behind the scenes to make our Christmas tree lighting the event that it is, which is a wonderful community event to kick off our holiday season. I want to wish everyone a happy holiday season and a safe, healthy, and happy New Year.
Thank you. Our Borough Attorney.
Thank you,
Ron.
thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nothing for this evening. I do have an item for closed session, but there won't be any action taken.
Okay, very good. Consent resolutions and resolutions of the governing body.
Be it resolved that the following resolutions herewith listed by consent, having been considered by the governing body of the Borough of Waldeck, are hereby passed and approved. 2025-314, approval of consent. 2025-315, approval of minutes, regular meeting October 28th, regular meeting and closed session meeting November 13th. 2025-316, resolution designating Harrison Ave Redevelopment LLC as conditional redeveloper and authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding and escrow agreement. 2025-317, authorized change of signatory for the 2024-2025 program year grant agreement with Bergen County Community Development Block Grant for ADA curb ramps. 2025-318, authorized change of signatory for all Bergen County grant agreements and county vouchers. 2025-319, authorized shared service agreement with Northwest Bergen Utilities Authority for pump station inspection services for 2025 through 2027. 2025-320, authorized release of dumpster escrow for 74 Moore Ave. 2025-321, approval of council reorganization meeting January 6, 2026. 2025-322, renewal of the group dental benefits program for eligible employees and their covered dependents through Delta Dental of New Jersey Incorporated. 2025-323, authorized refund of water overpayment. 2025-324, approval of budget appropriation transfers. And 2025-325, payment of vouchers.
Do I have a motion and a second to accept? Motion by Mr. Ramondo, second by Mr. Martinello. Yes.
Just wanted to touch on 2025-316, the resolution designating Harrison Ave redevelopment as the conditional redeveloper and authorizing the MOU. As the mayor must recuse himself from this matter, I will be signing that MOU on behalf of the council. And just wanted to note that those signatory changes on the grants is just a point of order. With Steve no longer here at the borough, we're just switching over the signatory permissions with the county to myself to sign off on the paperwork as we get through all the grant process. Thank you.
Anyone else? Not? Clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Brannick?
Yes.
Ms. Sarkola Drake?
Yes.
Mr. Martinello?
Yes.
Mr. Ramondo?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mrs. Weber?
Yes.
Okay, we have one public hearing. Would the clerk kindly read ordinance number 2025-23?
Ordinance number 2025-23, an ordinance to amend Chapter 64 of the Code of the Borough of Waldeck entitled Parks, adding that all dogs must remain leashed within a park.
Anyone from the council would like to comment on this ordinance? What this is just saying is very simple, that if you're going to bring your dog into the park, they have to be on a leash. They cannot be just roaming around by themselves, and that's the straightforward ordinance that we're passing. Anyone else from the council? If not, I close the council's comments and open up to the public. Anybody from the public would like to comment? You have to come up here, state your name, please. Is this about the ordinance?
No, it's about something else.
This is only the audience, right? The audience right now. Public comments, then you could come up. Okay? Anyone else? Sir? No? I close the public's comments and ask for a motion and a second to pass this on second reading, and that the clerk authorizes it to be placed into advertised in local legal newspapers as required by law. Motion and a second. Andy and also Mark. Clerk, take the roll.
Mr. Brannick?
Yes.
Ms. Sarkola Drake?
Yes.
Mr. Martinello?
Yes.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mrs. Weber?
Yes.
We have no introduction of ordinances. Anybody from the council have new business? Okay, anybody from the council have unfinished business? None? Okay, we already did the Durante presentation, and now public comments. Anybody from the public that would like to comment on anything, please. Anybody from, now you can come up now.
I'm a little calmer than Gino. Okay, hi. Good evening. I'm Esther Moralia, reside at 85 Harrison Ave. I don't need that? Oh, okay. Good evening. Esther Moralia, 85, this way?
Yeah, just speak into it.
No address. Everything else is
Okay, all right. I've lived at 85 in Waldwick my entire life. Okay, so I have several questions. First, I'd like to know one question about the townhouses that are being built on Harrison Ave. Has the town conducted a traffic analysis study once they put these townhouses on Harrison Ave? Did anything get done with that? And if so, could we have a report stating such? I ask because so many people have considered the intersection of Harrison Ave and Prospect Street a traffic hazard. The stop sign, there's a lot of traffic, and it's already concerning problems. Also, the intersection of Franklin Turnpike and Prospect Street is also a traffic hazard. I don't know if anybody looked into that. My second question is, how many townhouses are being planned to be built on Harrison Ave? We need to know that now because of the traffic pattern issues, such as, getting in and out of the residence driveway. Will that allow for a smooth and safe flow of traffic? And then now with the rocket supply, how is the traffic, and Rite Aid is gone? What is appraised with the potential issues of the traffic now that they're gone? And you may recall from the town's records, not so long ago, many of our citizens worked hard to vanquish the eminent domain issue that would have been a disastrous in this historic railroad neighborhood. We were relieved from that reprieve from the so-called progress, which would likely have made the outsiders much wealthier while we, the citizens of Waldwick, struggled to pay high taxes. This kind of progress, I would like to see progress in Waldwick. We have a really nice downtown with beautiful restaurants, beautiful businesses, but from Bagel Nosh all the way down to the railroad station, they put in these beautiful brick sidewalks, but you can't see the bricks because the weeds are overflowing the brick. The sign near Bagel Nosh is falling over, and there's like weeds all over the buildings there. It looks horrible. And then at the intersection of Harrison and Wyckoff, by the new food emporium, the garbage piles up and blows in the wind. It looks a mess. Well, thank you tonight for, taking my issues, and we'd like to make us proud to live in Waldwick. Thank you. That's it.
In regards to the neighborhood being filthy, dirty, do we have our building inspector please go out and look and see what's going on? Harrison Wyckoff, the weeds, it's not the first time somebody came over. Also, in back of where the food emporium is coming, there's dumpsters that are there that are not even lined up, they're just placement. That we look into. And I think we're going to have somebody go around the town if if the building inspector is too busy with other stuff, because I know he is, there's only one man, to make sure this town is kept clean. Anyone else? Sir, you were waiting. How are you?
I sent an email today. Did all you get that from Richard Turry?
Yes.
So have you had a chance to look at it?
I try to go on there, but you have to join that group, and I
Oh.
joined the group.
I'm sorry.
But I know you sent an email out and you've been saying what you want to say.
Yeah.
Explain to us why you want this done.
Seth's father, Nathaniel Bogdanoff, was elected mayor of Waldwick, I believe in 1971. And unfortunately, he passed away before the election results came out. And at the time, it was my feeling that just kind of got whitewashed over. There was never any recognition given to Mr. Bogdanoff as mayor. And it affected Seth and his family. Seth is Nathaniel's son. I think it was a very traumatic experience for them, and a lot of people in the town that voted for Mr. Bogdanoff, I think, felt the same way. So the reason I'm making this suggestion, I'm a resident from the 60s and 70s. I love the town, but I don't live here anymore. I belong to that group along with 4,000 or 5,000 others around the country. I'm a good friend of Seth's. At the time we got to know each other, there was the Environmental Environmental Protection Act. There was a Superfund in Waldwick. There was contaminated water. There was controversy about the Hohokus Brook, which I lived on, being polluted and maybe being a source of cancer for residents. Seth and I spent time doing research. I don't know if there was ever a result or not, but getting to my point, I think it would be an honor for Seth and his father to allow him to be mayor for a day, since his father never had a chance to serve, even though he was elected. Just a way of memorializing his father and kind of putting Seth at peace.
Well, could I answer some of those questions for you?
Sure.
I don't think the borough of Waldwick whitewashed his election. If you look in the back of the room, he's up there. His picture is up there with all the other mayors that served.
Okay, well...
And if you go in our lobby, there's another picture of him also with all the mayors that served.
Very good. Well...
So, I mean, we've done what we
Thank
had
you.
to do for him. I mean, to make him mayor for a day is for him, Seth, it's not for the mayor.
I understand
I mean,
that.
we could recognize the mayor at our reorg meeting, of that he didn't serve. You know, I read the whole history about Nathaniel. And, you know, I think he died 5 days before the election day. And he still got in as mayor. But the town did honor him because he's on the wall.
The last time I came here for a meeting, this building didn't exist. It was on Franklin Turnpike.
No, what we did was redid this whole room.
It was on Prospect Street.
Right. We did this whole room, and all the pictures of all the mayors are here.
Okay.
If you go downstairs tonight, you go near the Christmas tree, and there's a picture up there also. And we also, the Waldwick Alliance at the museum, the picture that is downstairs was in that room, and the public came and saw all the mayors that ever served him.
I appreciate that. It was just a suggestion of mine, and I wasn't aware.
Right. No, it's not. Where do you live?
I live in Flushing right now.
Flushing, New York?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a resident, Waldwick, 84 Wyckoff Ave, right next to the bridge. And in my day, I was a soccer player. I ended up getting invited later to be the coach of the soccer team. I believe I turned it around from a mediocre team to, after I left, it started winning league, county, and state championships. The kids that I coached, the youngest of three, Andy Bursch, was on the '95 state championship team. And I coached at the same time as Howie Reed, and he coached the football team and brought the Waldwick football team to their first state championship.
What we're going to do is we'll take a picture of the portrait up here, and we'll take a picture of the portrait downstairs, and we'll send it to you.
Fair enough, and I'll send it to Seth. Do you have another couple of minutes?
Sure.
Okay. I am getting old. I don't know if you have any records of the gentleman that designed your logo that's behind you here. But I believe it was my friend Rick Dreyer, class of '71. And I spent a lot of time trying to do the research. I don't know if you have that information in your archives or not. But
We'll look for it, but there's one person who'll probably notice, is our first administrator, Gary Crack.
okay,
We'll call him up, because we still
Okay.
keep in contact with him, we'll ask him if he knows anything about it. But what was
Okay.
his name that you said?
it's Richard Dreyer, Dreyer. And my question is there a way to give him some credit somewhere on your website for designing that logo?
When we find out that it was definitely him.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think
Yeah,
it
no
was.
problem.
One more.
Sure.
This is another close friend of mine. His name was Alan Wiedemeyer. And do any of you know Alan? Know of Alan? Okay. He was a track star in Waldwick, a few years younger than me, good friend of my sister Regina. And he was a very religious, spiritual person. He's good friends with several other of Waldwickians, none of whom still live in Waldwick. There was an incident in Oakland in front of a shopping mall where there was a couple where the man was beating up the woman in public. And Alan happened to be there, and he stepped in. Unfortunately, because of that, he ended up getting beaten to death. And it was never really discussed after that. It was, again, in my words, kind of just pushed off to the side. And in my mind, heroes aren't just military men or policemen, but I consider him a hero for standing up for someone. And unfortunately, he lost his life doing it.
Where did this happen?
In Oakland,
Oakland, New Jersey?
yes.
Okay, and his first name was?
Alan
Right?
Wiedemeyer,
Okay.
and I believe it's Weidemeyer.
I'm,
Does that sound right? You're aware of the story, right? Okay.
I will reach out to the mayor there and let him look into it for us also. And then we'll pick Mr. Brennick's brain also on this.
So, that's it. I don't know if it's appropriate to recognize him in any way. He's a native son of Waldwick, along with Rick Dreyer and
What we'll do is
Seth
we're going to look
Bodena.
into this. I'll look into it personally. And then we have your email address.
Okay.
And either myself or our administrator should get back to you and talk to you about that. But the first thing we'll do is tonight we'll take a picture and we'll send it to you so you have it.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Have a safe trip back to Flushing. Anyone else?
Okay, my name is Deborah Catuno, and I'm here tonight. I've lived in Waldwick for about 20 years. Oh, sure. You want me to continue? Okay. So I've lived in Waldwick for about 20 years, and I've had the pleasure of living next door to the Asta family. I've seen them have their children, watch the children grow up, and they've been probably the ideal neighbors to have for a very long time. So I think it's 17 years now, by the way. I was kind of a little disturbed and discouraged because there was a letter circulating all over social media, different platforms that I saw. It was prior to the election. And I think some of the allegations that were contained in the letter that was circulating, again, were a little disturbing and disheartening for me to read. And Mr. Mayor, I am sorry, but I have to point these things out because I love where I live, and I think that Mr. Astor would have made a great councilman. Reading this letter, I felt that it was very vague. There were two reasons why it caught my attention. One was because a lot of the language that was used was things like possible violations, appears to be a violation, may directly endanger. And those words that you put out there, people interpret differently. And they take it to heart because it's coming from a person of authority. And it really disturbed me. Because I know that, well, at least on one page I saw 30 likes, and whatever it is, there must have been at least 50 people, at least, that would have seen this. And some of it's documented. I have all the pictures from screenshots and things like that. But I think what happened that caught my attention the second time was then the two councilwomen posted another shot of this, and they edited it, which led me to believe that there were missing paragraphs. And I don't know if they were afraid of liability issues, or I don't know. But the mayor, one of the people that was very influential in my life was my freshman advisor. He was a man who had a Harvard PhD when Harvard actually meant something. And I remember him saying to me with a freshman investigative seminar that it was extremely important that if you're going to make a statement that you can back it up with either facts or some sort of historical statutes or whatever. And the mayor did present something where he said there was a statute, but it was never numbered. It was, I don't see anything here. And I know what he was getting at, in that he was trying to say that postcards that were sent out that said, take this to the polls with you, were illegal. I think that's in here somewhere. And it isn't. It's not illegal. It's allowed by law. And I know that because on the USA.gov website, which any of you can go look at, they actually state what you can bring in with you. And I'll get that for you in a second. And the question that was asked on the website, this is a government website along with the White House and everything else, all the major GSA, Government Services Administration, is can you bring sample ballots and voter guides into the voting booth? And it says you can bring your notes. You can bring a voter guide. You can bring a sample ballot. You can bring any of those things. This frees you from having to memorize your choices for candidates and ballot initiatives. Some polling places do restrict cell phone use, so please bring paper copies, instead of your phone. I think that pretty much explains what was actually allowed in the voting booth. So if I brought, I know we have a copy still of the postcard that went out, and it does say, please take this card in the polls with you. Here's my notes. Who am I going to vote for? Basically the same thing. And the funny part was, what I noticed for the first time, you can bring in your sample ballot. I could highlight this, I could do whatever I want. I could walk into the polling place and just walk in with this item. And if you look carefully on the back of your sample ballot, and this was for this past election, it says helpful tip. Bring this sample ballot to the polls for faster check-in. So all of these things are permitted by law. And I really feel that he was done an injustice by keeping him from actually running for an office that he probably deserved. And I'm concerned about the editing on that second letter that went out. I still don't understand why the new council people would take that certain segments out of there. And I'm disappointed. So that's pretty much all I have to say. But I really do think an injustice was done. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. I'm Pat Mortice. I'm not going to tell you where I live, but it does have something to do with why I'm here. I don't know if you know this, but I'm on Pennington. So, you know, it's the road that goes down to the park. And we have tractor trailers coming down my block. I don't know what to do about it. I've called the police. I think what's happening is that Google Maps is not accurate, and I think the truck drivers think, because of the maps, that there's an entrance to the industrial complex. So they go all the way down, they go down to the park, and they get stuck. And first of all, it's really alarming to see an 18-wheeler on Pennington Avenue. We have all small children that live there. It seems like it's an accident waiting to happen, and it's really dangerous. I don't think a truck driver would be able to see a young child from up that high. And the road's not made for 18-wheelers. I've called the police, and they've come several times. They've knocked down wires. They've knocked down the same stop sign like 5-6 times. And I can tell, you know, when they get halfway up the block that they're freaked out, the truck drivers. And they're stuck in this small space and they can't get out of it. And so I called the police to come, and then I feel bad too, because I think after that happens, the police give them a ticket. And I think it's just a bad situation all the way around, and I'm just wondering what we can do to solve it. Like maybe we could put up, either we could contact Google Maps and tell them to correct what is obviously wrong on their maps. I think that would be one great way. But I think another thing is to have a sign at the top of the block saying a weight limit, no trucks allowed. Like if there's just something that we can do about it, because I really feel like it's an accident waiting to happen. Okay, great. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention. It's the first time I'm hearing of it, so I'll...
Yeah, I thought by calling the police that would bring attention to it, but like I just can't watch another truck get caught up there again. It's just, and it's bringing down the wires, knocking down, and I feel bad for the truck driver because it's not their fault, and they're getting tickets for it on top of being freaked out. So, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Helga Hochstetter. I just want to say that I feel it's a little unfortunate for someone to say that somebody else does deserve to win the election. The councilwomen who did win the election are here, and I think we should support them. I'm sorry that your person didn't win, but you know, half of this town is supportive of Democratic policies, and we should support them. A lot of us, Democrats, we didn't say anything when the Republicans won, that's fine. But I feel like the other side should do the same. They won. Okay? Thank you. Bye.
Anyone else? This is, ma'am, this is not going to be a debate about this.
it's not
But
supposed
you
to
could
be.
have, you could have.
I
your
understand this.
Sure.
It's not a debate. This is simply a rebuttal. I was not trying to say that they didn't deserve their office or whatever. I'm saying that there were allegations that were made against someone that didn't deserve to have them, and that really they don't cut the mustard when you look at the laws. So I was, like I said, I was disappointed, but I was also disturbed that these allegations would be put out there and nobody would actually say, or it was worded in such a way where there was no liability. That's what I was trying to say.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, we have one person that's on the... Could we just let this one person talk? She can wait. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council. Really quickly to happy Hanukkah to everyone. I just wanted to, as I was listening to the meeting, offer up, I do have information about Nathaniel Bogdanoff.
Okay.
My father was actually on the ticket with him when this happened. He and Kendall were running for council, and Nathaniel Bogdanoff is running for mayor. So I do have original literature that I'd be willing to either make a photocopy for Seth, who, I grew up with Seth, and David, and it's an unfortunate situation what happened. But I just wanted to offer that anything that I can help you, help out, I do have a little bit of history to help.
If you could send that all to me, you could take that with the pictures we're going to be sending, and we'll send it right to the gentleman, and he could give it to Seth.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Where'd he go?
Jim Schultz, this is my monthly public announcement about pilot programs. I watched the last council meeting. Mike, I applaud you for telling everyone to get involved with the pilot contract, the schools and that, so thank you. That was very good. Next question I have two more. One, you mentioned something about a $200,000 tax revenue that we would get. So you get $200,000 with the redistribution or the redistricting on Harrison, minus the 67, it'd be about $133,000. So I went back, right, and so I'll get to that in a minute. So I looked up what the school budget was. The average student in Warwick is $18,000 per pupil. Oh, sorry. So the average student from 2023 to 2024, the average was about $18,100. So if we have 133K in excess, we get 7 students, even though we can't use that pilot money for education, we're down $133,000 there.
I mean, listen, we can do whatever we want with the money. That's why I'm advocating we meet with the Board of Ed, sit down with them, find an equitable distribution here. Let's just not say no to hundreds of thousands of dollars of new tax revenue. That's all I'm saying, Jim.
Okay, no, I understand it, and this goes to my next point. There's a website, or there's actually a spreadsheet, and Tatiana was going to ask you if you can look at it. It's called the Pilot Finance Approval Forecast. I went out there the other day, I looked at it, and surprisingly, there's an entry for Warwick in there. I was surprised because I went to the other spreadsheet that said we have no pilot programs. Now maybe, so I don't know who put it in, I'll give you the address, you can look at it. But that was broken down, municipality 95, county 5, school board 0. So as much as we say the school board is going to get money, I haven't seen anything yet that says they're going to get $1 of the pilot money.
I don't think that's our pilot. That must be an old pilot.
No, I was... And that's what, because I went to the other spreadsheet that shows you all the active pilots in Bergen County, and it was 0. Then I went back to this, and it's filled out for 30 years. That's why I'll give it to you. I don't know who put it in. But my only point is it's 9550 with that. And I understand, and I harp on this every month, when it gets negotiated, you have to negotiate to get money taken out per student.
Well, Jim, I'll give you this. You're giving us considerable leverage by coming up here every month. So
That's my biggest concern, is that I haven't seen anything that says you can use it, and believe me, there's a municipal tax abatement handbook that's out there.
Listen, I think we need to meet with the Board of Ed, or representatives of the Board of Ed, and figure this out. I think eventually we're going to get there.
Right.
I think we're going to negotiate a good deal.
Yep, and again, my concern is, and maybe with the attorney that was here tonight, if she can negotiate that they pay per student. For every student that attends, you pay $18,185. That's a good start.
Jim,
Yeah.
also, the Board of Education does not have a budget problem at this point. They have a surplus,
Mhm.
and they raise their tax every year the max. They're well-funded. I don't see a shortfall in their budget at this point to worry about, but we indeed, if we look at a pilot program, we have to make sure we're negotiating, we're looking at the funds. We have to work closely with the Board of Education to see what their needs are. But at this point, they have, and to my knowledge, not a budget problem, that they're
Right.
in imminent danger of anything.
Right, so, but if you look at the $70,000 that taxes today, that those buildings on Harrison Ave, 69% of that goes to the school budget. Once that 70,000 goes away, you can't take that 69% for the school, so you're down about $47,000 a year already.
We could give them.
If we can do that, all I'm saying is, let's negotiate that.
I also I just want to say, just so it's clear, not the entire rateable does not go away. There will be a land tax, a land assessment that gets taxed normally. That's how a pilot works. So, for instance, if hypothetically, whatever the value of that land is, not the building, if the land is $1 million, that percentage that you're talking about still goes to the
Okay,
school.
good. And I think that's in the spreadsheet. When you look at it,
Right.
it's broken out by land. Again, I hate to be repeated, but when it gets negotiated, let's just make sure we take care of the school
I don't
budget.
think anybody here, I mean, I have kids still in the school system, some of us up here still do. I don't think any one of us is going to forget about the Board of Education
No, that's-
in this process at all.
Yep.
And I'm sure Mr. Marrow won't let us forget.
No, I agree, but for the rest of the taxpayers, that's my concern. Tatiana, I'll send you that spreadsheet tomorrow.
Sure, and I just wanted to make a point that the redeveloper for Harrison Ave redevelopment has not submitted an application
Yep.
requesting a pilot yet.
That's-
So, this, the conversation happens.
Yep,
this
that's-
happens once we receive that.
Yep,
referral.
and there's a whole bunch, like he's got to put a cost benefit and have, there's a whole bunch of things which I'm probably sure in that handbook it lists out that has to be done before it does it. So, thank you.
Right, financial health.
Okay, so does anyone else that would like to comment? If not, do I have a motion to go into close? Motion by Andy, second by Katie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Everyone have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.